guys for coming today to listen to me talk about marriage and family therapy. When I think about marriage, I think about a joke I was once told about a couple driving down a country road. They had been driving for a few miles, and they hadn't talked at all because earlier in the day they had this discussion and it ended up in an argument and neither of them wanted to give up their position. Well, as they drove down the road, they passed a barnyard with mules and goats and pigs, and the husband asked, "Relatives of yours?" And the wife replied, "Yep, in-laws." All joking aside, we all have either been married or are in families, and we've seen the struggle and conflicts that can go on within a family system. And because of that, I've been led to do more research about what kind of options are out there to aid families in times of conflict or struggle, and that's led me on the doorstep of marriage and family counseling. So today my intent is to educate you on marriage and family therapy and how it can be used to promote God's value of family. So to do that, we'll talk about marriage and family therapists, how they're used to strengthen families, and how that in turn promotes God's value of family. I thought the best place to start was a definition from the American Association of Marriage and Family Therapy. They define marriage and family therapists as health care professionals who are trained in psychotherapy and family systems, and they're licensed to diagnose and treat mental health and emotional health disorders within the context of marriage, couples, or families. To become a marriage and family therapist, you need to receive either a master's or a doctoral degree. The difference is just the type of treatment that they can give to their patients, and marriage and family therapy is short-term, and to do that they have very specific and attainable goals that they set. But how are they capable of strengthening families? They work within the context of like interrelational conflict, which I think is kind of the obvious when you think of marriage to family therapy, but also they bring the families together for individual problems. So this can be a teen with drug abuse, or an adult with depression, or even an elderly family member with dementia. They bring the families in together to work together for the individual, and by doing so they strengthen family units. One statistic that I found that was very interesting, most of them were all very positive, and like 90% of most adults report back better relationships within the family. The 73% of parents who have children within marriage and family therapy have reported that it's overall improvement, not just in the relationship but within school, which all of this together really just strengthens the family unit. And finally, God values family. We read it in Proverbs 27 about how he values husbands. Proverbs 31:10 talks about how he values wives. Genesis chapter 2, we read about the marriage that comes together and how he values them as a whole. And then Psalm 127 verses 3 through 5 talks about how he values children. And by using marriage and family therapy, you can help strengthen this family unit that God has built and he values. And then we look at letters like the Ephesians and James, and they talk about there's instructions on the family roles, family dynamics, and how to keep a family strong. And that wouldn't be within those letters if it wasn't something that God valued. So conclusively, we have marriage and family therapists who are health care professionals who are trained to diagnose and treat individuals with health or emotional disorders within the context of family systems, marriages, couples. They work with interrelational conflicts or personal individual conflicts, but with a family system to help strengthen family units. And all of this ties together because God values family, and to promote God's value of family, you have to help strengthen family. And I'm going to end with a quote from Adrian Rogers. He said that the same Jesus that turned water into wine can transform your lives, your homes, your family. And he's still in the business of miracle making, and the business is transformation.